Today we're going to talk about me time and why you should get rid of any guilt that you may associate with devoting and focusing time for you, on me time. Time to build, renew, restore your fuel tank, your energy tank, your resilience tank. So this is such an important topic because I find that busy women often deprioritize me time, and they prioritize everyone and everything else first. The people in their lives, the work in their lives, the community, the tasks around them, and they become the bottom. And when you become your last priority, that often leads to frustration, sometimes resentment, and often exhaustion and stress and dissatisfaction. So imagine this. Imagine if you deprioritize yourself consistently on everything and you don't get much sleep, you don't eat healthy foods, your life is filled with stress, and you really don't take steps to take care of yourself. That really can lead to burnout. It could lead to exhaustion. And if you're running on empty, you don't have a tank to help you take care of the other people in life or to take care of the things that are important in your life. So you really need energy. You need to restore energy. You need to repair your needs. Me time, focusing on your own needs is really important. So I want you first to know and feel that guilt for me time should disappear. And it really is something that you need to work on. If you felt guilty, I want you to help and let that go. Free yourself of any guilt. I do want to start and welcome people in who are with us today. I see Eileen is joining us, so I want to say good evening to Eileen. And I see other people are joining in as well. So good evening to everybody. I invite people, whether you're watching live with us or whether you're watching on replay, please put a comment in the comments to say hello to everyone, or to say hello to me, or just to say hello. I love building community, and so I love when people show that they're here and they're with us, and you can help build community. So I want to continue on our topic, but last week we talked a lot about your personal development plan, and there are 8 areas that we spoke about in the personal development plan. One of them is me time, fun time, self-care. And when I speak to clients, I know that that's often an area where people deprioritize that area. So if you have 8 areas in your personal development plan, I'm going to name them. We spoke about them last week. If you didn't get to watch that, I would encourage you to go and watch that. It's really important in terms of building a life that will make you happy, a life that will make you feel fulfilled and joyous. So the 8 areas we talked about in the personal development plan are career and work, your home, your location, the organization, your family and relationships, your community and friends outside your home, your financial life, your health and your health needs, your spirituality in your life, and your hobbies, me time, and fun time. And when I speak to people, they often say, well, that's one of the least important, or they'll say that is the least important. And the reality is, if you don't restore your energy and keep your energy going, if you're exhausted, if you're running on low or empty, then you can't take care of the other 7 areas that you say are important to you. And you can't take optimal care of the other people in your life who you really want to take care of. Or you can't take care of the other tasks in your life that you want to be dedicated to. So me time, self-care, taking care of yourself is really important. again, I want to help you get rid of and eliminate any guilt that you may feel about it. It's really important. It's important so you can get the things done that you want, so that you can help the people you want, and you can reach the goals that you've set for yourself and your family and your work. So again, we're going to move and get rid of all of that guilt. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some of the obvious things that we do for me time, and then I want to talk some more about the less obvious and more important steps that you need to take. But one of the more obvious steps is really to think out, and you may even write down so that you can keep in mind what are the activities that give you energy, that re-energize you, renew you, help you feel rebuilt, re-spirited, and energized. And again, if you're not full, if you're working on an empty cup, you can't fill other people's cup. Think about a car. If the car is empty on gas, it can't go anywhere. If it's low on gas, or if the oil hasn't been changed, it's probably not working very efficiently and getting you where you want to go optimally. Similarly, you need to take care of yourself. So what are the things that really help renew you? I want you to think about them and write them down so you make a commitment to yourself. So some of the obvious things we talk about to relax and renew are things like meditation or deep breathing. For some people it's running or jogging or hiking or being in nature. For some, it's journaling or writing. For some, it's art or music. And art, it may be seeing beautiful art. For some, it's making art. For music, for some, it's listening to music. For some, it's making music. May be certain types of sports, nature. It may involve watching shows or movies or watching music concerts. What types of things really feed you, feed your spirit, your center, your core? I want you to really take time to think about it. And I want you to take an inventory of how much time you actually spend in your life doing that in a week, in a day. What do you do for yourself in a day? Do you take time off to do some deep breathing, to do some relaxation, to check in with yourself, to lower your stress level? It's really important. And there are some things that you can do that don't take a lot of time, even a few moments of deep breathing, a few moments of stretching, some physical stretches, a quick phone call to a friend, sending a card to somebody for something that's coming up in their lives. So me time can include some short times and some longer times, like a hike, or like a run, or doing music or art where you have to set up some things. Again, think about those activities that are important to you. And you know how when there are important things in your life, you put them on your calendar? That's how you can assure yourself you'll get it done. By putting it on your calendar like you do if you're getting together with your best friend or your boss at work or doing a task for work. Put yourself on your calendar so you'll remember and be committed. And don't deprioritize yourself. Don't get to it on your calendar and say, well, I'm gonna cancel my time at the gym today because I really want to take care of this for work or this for something else. When you have a commitment to yourself, that's important. And putting it on your calendar is one of the strategies that can help you reassure yourself that you're committed to it. So again, know what the activities are. Remember to prioritize yourself. Put it on your calendar so you don't forget or ignore your me time. And I'm going to go over two less obvious things, but really important and crucial things you can do to protect yourself and your energy. And one is the concept of boundaries. Very often we get exhausted when we take on too many activities for too many other people, and so we're not preserving our own self-care. And that starts with really boundaries. It starts with understanding where you end, where other people start, and where you end and where your responsibilities lie. So what are the responsibilities that are most important to you in your life? And what responsibilities can you pass up on? What can you let go that are not really important in your life or in your goals or to your family? What can get done in other ways other than you doing everything? What are things you might be able to delegate? And are there people who impede and impinge on your time where you'd like to say no? Or are you able to say no? So I hear my clients talk about work bosses who expect them to be available 24/7, and that's just not realistic. And so sometimes even with bosses, we can create a boundary script that's respectful, sincere, and it lays out your boundaries in a caring way that this is the best way I can get things done. I often help my clients create boundary scripts for the situations they need. Often we'll talk about handling bosses who overstep and expect them to be available 24/7. I hear stories still about mother-in-laws or mothers who really impinge on boundaries and family members. And again, creating boundaries, people are often afraid of boundaries because they think it will make them look rude or insincere or uncaring. And that is not the case. I work on people and we create boundary scripts, and they don't come across as uncaring or rude at all. In fact, when they're done correctly, they come across as caring and sincere and to the effect of, but more direct in a situation, that this is how I can help you best. Of course, when I speak to people individually, we do gear specifically the words and the activities and the context. But again, boundaries are important to preserve your energy, your time, your focus, and your work. And if you are unaware of your boundaries and if you don't implement your boundaries, you can lose track of your energy that way. So it really is important, and boundaries are not rude. They don't deserve the bad rap that they have if you know how to do it. I do have a program on boundaries specifically, and I sometimes add boundaries in when I'm talking with my clients about their personal development plan so that they know how to create boundaries to allow their self-care and their self-focus and their priorities to stay in place. So, again, it's very important. The other thing that can be really helpful in me time, in self-care, I hear from a lot of people, I just don't have time for it. And so an important concept to really look carefully at is time management. What is wasting your time? Where is time dripping and getting away from you? And how can you improve your time? So next week, and I don't usually talk about topics in advance, but next week we're going to talk about time management and time hacks. And that may help you find some extra time, some extra time for me time and self-care. But even better than that is I want to remind you again, as I did last week, that I do have a program on helping people build their personal development plan and achieve their personal development goals and aims. The advantage of that, of looking at all of the 8 areas in your personal development together, is that some people will do one program at a time with different programs. They'll do a time management program with one area and a stress management program with another area, and then a job development program with another area. And what that does is it doesn't help the gears work together, so the gears work separately. So what I hear from people is that if they took a stress management program, they'll say, well, that would have worked well if I had the time to implement it, or if I didn't have the job that I currently have. But those gears didn't align. Sometimes people will say they took a time management course, and they'll say, well, that would have worked great, but I have the job that I have, and that doesn't jive with my schedule. I'm not able to implement what they said. Or they don't understand the stress that I'm having, and that doesn't work. So if you do things piecemeal, it often doesn't fall into place. The advantage of doing everything together is all the gears work together, everything falls into place, and you get the results that you're hoping for in each of the areas. So I am happy to have a conversation with you about the 8 areas that we spoke about for your personal development plan. I did mention them again earlier today. I'm happy to talk to you about what your plan is for me time, for self-care, if that's an area that you'd like to talk about, or of course the other areas as well. And I'm happy to talk to you about how we can get all of the gears in your life to work together, so finally you can feel like you're in control of your life, and not that time moves on for you, but you control your time, you control your priorities, and you control your success. You can grow your success, you can plan it, and feel confident that you will reach what you're working towards. So again, I want to mention that in the past, I hear a lot of clients who first come to me and say they feel guilty when they allot time for me time, for self-care for themselves. And again, if you're working on an empty cup, you can't fill others from an empty cup. Just like a car with no gas can't drive where it wants to go, and it can't drive efficiently. We want you to be efficient, at ease, and free so that you can focus and get where you're going. There are 8 areas that we spoke about in the personal development plan, and there's no reason why you can't set a priority in all of them and get all the gears to work together. Imagine how great it's going to feel to have everything working together, to feel in control again, instead of feeling like life controls you and you're just at the default of what happens. So we want to set you back in the driver's seat. We want you to feel energetic. We want you to feel empowered. And most of all, we want you to reach success and happiness in your life. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this sparks some thinking about how you can implement more self-care in your life, how you can implement more of those 8 plans, more steps of those 8 plans, so that you feel like you're driving right towards that success result where you want to end up. So again, if I can be of help, let me know. I have only room for 4 people in my program on the personal development plan. So if that is an area that you'd like to speak to me about, please set up an appointment right away so that you don't get closed out. My calendar will be in our group. I will try to put my calendar in the chat in this recording. And again, if you'd like to up your life and reach out for success, feel free to reach out to me to schedule an appointment. I would love to help you build the pathway to the results that you want to have in your life. So it is a joy to be with all of you. I look forward to being with all of you again next Sunday at our regular scheduled time. And I did let the cat out of the bag this time. I don't usually announce my topics in advance, but next Sunday I will be talking about time management and time strategies, time hacks. So be sure to join me then. I will see you in our group during the week, and let's talk soon.